Imagine a normal day. You wake up, you open an app to buy a vintage jacket, you order some lunch, you turn on a secure VPN to check your bank account, and then send money to your friends. You probably assume a morning routine like that is entirely powered by a classical Silicon Valley tech. But the actual platforms behind a day like this could easily be Vinted, Bolt, NordVPN, and Wise. There are massive household names that millions of people have sitting on the home screens right now without a second thought. And here is the absolute kicker. None of those apps are made in America. The deeply ingrained assumption that every major piece of software running our modern lives has to be engineered in California is a massive illusion. Instead, these billion-dollar giants were built from scratch right here in the Baltics and Nordics, a region that has quietly turned into the ultimate tech laboratory. Because the local populations are small, founders here cannot rely on massive domestic market to survive. They are forced to build for a global scale from day zero. Today, we are doing a real economic analysis of these exact powerhouses. We're looking at the actual stories, the raw numbers, and the hyper-aggressive global expansion plans of the tech giants hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the technology that particularly half the internet uses to protect the data, NordVPN, and its massive sibling Surfshark. These two cybersecurity powerhouses eventually joined forces under a single parent company called Nord Security, a tech juggernaut born right in the thriving tech ecosystem of Vilnius, Lithuania. If you watch YouTube, you already know exactly how massive their reach is. It is practically impossible to watch a video, check a tech channel, or listen to a podcast a day without a content creator pausing to promote their VPN. Nord Security turned influencer marketing into an absolute science using a massive global army of creators to completely dominate the consumer market. Instead of burning through investor cash like traditional loss-making American startups, Nord Security built its entire empire on high recurring subscription revenues and sustainable long-term profitability. Today, the company holds a massive $3 billion valuation and commands more than 15 million paying subscribers globally. Their financials are skyrocketing, with historical revenues of $770 million now marching toward a projected $1.3 billion. Moving forward, they are expanding far beyond basic privacy, actively building out a unified security super app and targeting large corporate subscriptions. They have effectively turned Lithuania into the undisputed capital of global digital privacy. Next is the app that took on the biggest, most aggressive tech giant in the world and won. Bolt was built in Tallinn, Estonia, starting when a 19-year-old founder borrowed money from his parents to link people with local taxi drivers. At that exact moment, Uber was burning billions of dollars trying to monopolize global ride-hailing, but the small Estonian startup completely flipped the script. Today, Bolt has grown into a multi-billion-dollar empire that serves over 200 million customers across more than 600 cities worldwide. But the genius of Bolt is that they didn't just break Uber's monopoly in the taxi market, they aggressively went after Uber Eats too. When global lockdowns hit, they launched Bolt Food, creating a massive dual ecosystem. They allow their couriers and drivers to effortlessly toggle between picking up passengers and delivering restaurant meals or groceries, maximizing driver earnings and optimizing delivery routes. This hyper-efficient model pushed them past their €1 billion revenue run rate and kept them cash flow positive since 2024. While Uber threw billions of dollars at flashy marketing campaigns and experimental autonomous cars, Bolt won the war through raw fiscal discipline. Right now, Bolt is expanding its micromobility scooters and food networks across Western Europe while locking down absolute dominance in fast-growing African markets. Now, let's look at the app that completely reshaped European retail, Vinted, Lithuania's very first tech unicorn. If you live anywhere in Europe, your closet is likely full of items bought or sold on this platform. What started as a simple idea to help a friend clear out her wardrobe has exploded into a global phenomenon. The numbers behind this business are absolutely staggering. Vinted has captured the second-hand fashion market with over 100 million members across Europe and beyond. Their gross merchandise value, the total value of all goods sold on the app, rocketed by up 47% to a staggering 10.8 billion euros, driving their annual revenue past 1.1 billion euros and bringing in a clean 62 million euros in net profit. Because of this explosive trajectory, they completed a massive secondary share transaction that officially values the company at an eye-watering 8 billion euros. The absolute genius of Vinted was making selling completely free and shifting a small fee to the buyer instead, which unlocked a massive user engagement. They aren't content with just dominating Europe right now. Vinted is aggressively going global. They just launched a massive expansion directly into Australia, partnering with Australia Post and even setting up a direct international shipping bridge to the United Kingdom, so users can trade across oceans. At the same time, they are heavily targeting the United States, hunting for every possible backdoor and logistics strategies to scale up and conquer the massive US retail scene. They have evolved from a simple Lithuania closet clear-out tool into a hyper-aggressive global powerhouse. And finally, we look at the company that completely revolutionized how money moves across borders, Wise. Started by two Estonian founders who got tired of traditional banks ripping them off with hidden fees and inflated exchange rates, they built a brilliant peer-to-peer infrastructure where money never actually crosses an international border. Instead, Wise maintains pools of cash in different countries, paying out recipients locally to bypass expensive international wire systems. This infrastructure now supports 19 million active people and businesses worldwide. In the last fiscal year alone, their active customer base grew by 21%, driving their cross-border transaction volume up by 31% to a massive $243 billion. This is incredible scale, generated $2.5 billion in net revenue and a massive $660 million in profit before tax. Wise is currently transforming from a basic transfer service into a legitimate global alternative banking system, with customers now trusting them to hold $39 billion inside their accounts. Thanks to their unique financial routing, 75% of all global transfers are now completed instantly. The next big expansion move is hitting major global financial frameworks directly, successfully securing internet integrations into Brazil's PIX network and Japan's Zenjin system to make legacy bank fees permanently obsolete. When you look at the raw data from non-security, Vinted, Bolt, or Wise, the picture becomes incredibly clear. The old days relying on California to build a digital world are officially over. Estonia and Lithuania acted as a perfect sandbox. Because these countries are highly digitized and have small domestic populations, founders are forced to code for global scalability from day one. You simply cannot survive by building an app just for Vilnius or Tallinn. You have to design something that works for the entire world. This region isn't just participating in the global tech race, it's setting the pace, and it's doing so with sustainable profits, hyper-efficiency, and a profound sense of homegrown grit. Drop a comment below which of these companies surprise you the most with their actual numbers. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.